The Pokemon Global Challenge is an online ladder-style tournament that allows competitors to play against each other all across the world from the comfort of their own home. And I, like many of you, competed. However, this tournament had over 400,000 competitors. And this was my very first ever online tournament that I competed in. And it ended better than expected, actually. What's going on, everybody? My name is Stutters and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my experience in the first ever global challenge held in Pokemon Champions, as well as sharing with you my team that I used. Before I get started, I'd like to thank you for even clicking on this video. It really does mean a lot to me and I love hearing about your experiences as well. So if you decided to compete in the global challenge, let me know how you did in the comments. Also, let me know what team you decided to use. I find it very curious who and what people decided to use. And while you're down there, don't forget to consider liking and subscribing. But with that being said, here's my experience in the global challenge tournament. First things first, let's talk about the team I used. Aerodactyl was usually the first Pokemon I would send out. With a lot of people expecting Tailwind, I could get a few surprise hits in because I was running Mega Aerodactyl. This specific set was inspired by Austin John Plays and the Aerodactyl he did in his video. With a Jolly Nature and only 19 points of speed, this thing was able to outspeed non-Scarf Garchomps, using the rest of the points in attack and HP. I ran Ice Fang on it alongside Dual Wing Beat and Rock Slide to really take advantage of Mega Aerodactyl's Tough Claws ability. I mainly partnered Aerodactyl with Aegislash, these two working phenomenally together. My Aegislash was meant to be bulky with a max HP and 29 points in attack, with the rest in its defense, and taking advantage of a careful nature, using Wide Guard against those who want to take out Aerodactyl with Rock Slide. I chose to use Sacred Sword to help against any Stamina Archaludons because at this point I think you guys understand that I hate Archaludon. And having Shadow Sneak and the King's Shield to round out my moveset, as well as giving it the spell tag to boost up Shadow Sneak. But Aegislash wasn't the only help I gave my Aerodactyl, because my Prankster user on this team was Sableye. This Sableye was a max defensive build, holding the Roselli Berry to weaken its only weakness to Fairy, running Will-O-Wisp, Disable, and Encore to really disrupt my competition. But my last move was Rain Dance. Now hear me out, the reason why was not only to reset the weather conditions when it came to Sunny Day and Sandstorm, but to also help out my next Pokemon and the second Mega I have on this team, Mega Meganium. I chose Mega Meganium for one reason and one reason alone, because it is actually so good. It was a pretty basic set with max HP and max special attack, while running Protect, Solar Beam, Dazzling Gleam, and Weather Ball. Rounding out the final two additions to the team were two Pokemon that I've really seen the most usage in this format, and I'm pretty sure they're both still top 5 in terms of usage, and for good reason. Sneasler is in its own tier of powerhouse. Even with the nerf of Dire Claw only giving status 30% of the time now, it's still incredibly powerful. I chose to give my Sneasler Protect, Close Combat, and Dire Claw, but the final move I gave it was Upper Hand instead of Fake Out, really to threaten and take out any Incineroars that came my way because my team hates being intimidated. But it came in handy a few more times more than I expected. I gave Sneasler the Focus Sash to survive at least one hit and gave it the ability Poison Touch because I really like statuses. I think it makes people think on the fly and really disrupts their strategy. And the final member of this team is King Gambit. And while most people were playing Defiant King Gambit, I went with Supreme Overlord as a nice surprise back Pokemon that can come out and Sucker Punch or Kowtow Cleave with some severe damage using the black glasses. It also had Protect and Low Kick to take care of any Archaludon. I don't like Archaludon. I hit my mic again. And that's the team. I really liked them in practice and I was really excited to put them in use. I just had a few little things to take care of first. I recently just started a new job, which has been taking a lot more time than I originally expected. I am very grateful for the job, but I didn't spend as much time practicing as I would have liked to. And I was also in a time crunch. The tournament ran from May 1st to May 3rd. My girlfriend was moving from her apartment on May 2nd, and then we were leaving on a flight May 3rd. So I didn't have as much time as I thought I would to play my matches, but I was determined to get them done. So I hopped in the first day and honestly, it went well. My very first match was going up against a potential Rain Perish Trap Mega Gengar team, who already had won some matches based on my opponent's rating. They led with Politoed and Gengar, while I led with Sableye and Sneasler. With the rain up, my only choice was to go for Will-O-Wisp with Sableye, to get some chip damage at the very least. Considering I don't have Fake Out on my Sneasler, but my opponent doesn't know that, I Will-O-Wisp the Gengar and I Dire Claw the Politoed, just in case he doesn't protect. Gengar Mega Evolves and I connect the Will-O-Wisp. Politoed doesn't protect and my Sneasler survives a Shadow Ball and puts Politoed to sleep, which I was assuming was using Perish Song. From here my goal was to whittle down Politoed and disrupt Gengar, who goes for Shadow Ball again. So I assumed it didn't have Perish Song. I disable Shadow Ball and Politoed stays asleep, allowing me to hit it with another Dire Claw. Politoed woke up and I encored Gengar into the disabled Shadow Ball, while Politoed protects my Dire Claw. I predict the switch, but I played it safe, allowing me to double up into Politoed, taking it out. I Will-O-Wisp the Arch Bridge and Gengar takes out Sneasler with another Shadow Ball. Then with the rain still up, Sableye actually survives an Electro Shot to the face. With the rain now gone and both Pokemon on my opponent's side burned, I bring out King Gambit. gaining an Overlord boost. My opponent withdraws Gengar and sends out Garchomp, while I Encore Chaladon into Electroshot and Kowtow Cleave there where the Gengar was, doing over half to Garchomp. I misplay here, accidentally wisping into the Arch again, instead of disabling the Electroshot, but Gambit takes out Garchomp with a Sucker Punch, as Electroshot takes out Sableye. Now I'm in an interesting place. I send out Meganium, and I decide to Mega Evolve and Weather Ball into their Chaladon, not knowing how much it will actually do. And I Kowtow Cleave into Gengar, forgetting that Gunk Shot and Sludge Bomb are an actual thing. Luckily, instead, he Perish Songs, and the Weather Ball takes our Chaladon all the way down to 1% after still being locked into Electroshock. Kowtow Cleave takes out Gengar, and Sableye's Burn actually takes out the Arch, and I win my first ever tournament match. So now I'm feeling pretty good. I decide to play a little bit more and actually end up forfeiting my second match. But my opponent takes way too long and I win my third match. So overall, I'm feeling pretty good playing into my first day, even getting to top 1300 overall at one point. And then I lost. And lost. Match after match after match, ending the first day below a 1500 rating. But I was still optimistic, but my inexperience was showing and my time was running out. On the second day, I needed to leave to go help my girlfriend move from her apartment. I misplayed, overthought, and overall just did not do as well as I hoped. I still won a few matches, but I was just too far gone to really be where I wanted to be, and played the rest of the matches at her apartment. So I'm sorry I don't have any footage of me losing over and over again. But I still had the third day and I was ready to play. I mean, I had 6 hours to kill on this plane ride, so I knew I could at least get back to 1500. My Switch wouldn't connect to the Wi-Fi. I was in awe. I was disheartened and I was embarrassed. I spent 2 hours of that plane ride trying to get it to work, and I finally decided to give up, spending the last 4 hours to edit on my last video. By the time we landed and we got to the house we were staying at, the tournament was over, and I had only completed 30 matches of my 45. My first ever tournament came to end in poor fashion. I ended the tournament with a rating of 1421.530, which is far below where I was hoping. But I placed in the top 200,000, 192,901st to be exact, but yeah. And out of a tournament of 400,000 people, I felt like I couldn't complain getting in the top 50%. Overall, the ending wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I can say that I really enjoyed my first ever online tournament. And because there weren't any championship points awarded in my region, I didn't really lose anything and was able to play and practice for when I competed in a tournament that actually mattered. Overall, I would say that it was a success. Being able to compete and actually care about the matches that I was playing was actually a lot of fun. It was something different than the ladder where I have over 30 days to actually get where I want to be in it. Only having a day and a half to compete, yes, I know it was my fault in doing so, but I would do it again. I have a life outside of this, though my girlfriend might disagree on that. It actually made it more fun for me, and I'm very excited for the next one. But until then, I'm going to keep playing and practicing and trying out new strategies to better my competitive knowledge for the next time that I compete. So if you're someone who's new to competitive Pokemon just like I am, consider subscribing and learning alongside with me. I know that I'm not the best. Far from it, actually. But I think that's what makes Pokemon fun. We can all learn and compete together on this journey. But there you have it. That was my first experience in the Global Challenge. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really had a lot of fun and I'm excited for more tournaments in the future. And if you competed, let me know how you did in the comments. What did you think about the tournament? And let me know what team you used. And honestly, if there's any advice you have on my team, please give it. I'm still learning. But with that all being said, thank you for watching this video and I'll see you guys all in the next one.